Think November is too late to plant? Most gardeners quit now, but that's exactly when these winter survival crops perform best. This is your last chance to grow the vegetables that need cold weather to turn sweeter, bigger, and more productive than spring crops. Miss this window and you'll be waiting a full year and paying for food you could grow for pennies. Today we're covering the 18 crops you must plant in November before it's too late. These frost-loving vegetables thrive when everything else dies back. And number 5 grows faster in winter than summer. Let's dive in. The first one is garlic. Garlic is hands down the most important crop to plant in November because cold weather is exactly what triggers proper bulb formation. When you put cloves into chilled soil now, they spend winter building a powerful root system that explodes into growth once spring hits. Every single clove becomes a full bulb containing 8 to 12 new cloves, turning a small $5 investment into a summer harvest worth 10 times more. Hardneck varieties like Music thrive in colder zones and produce rich, complex flavor, while softneck types are perfect for warmer regions and store for months. Plant cloves 2 inches deep with the pointy end up, and space them 4 to 6 inches apart in well-drained soil. Garlic hates sitting in waterlogged ground, so choose a sunny location with good drainage. Mulch lightly to prevent freeze-thaw cycles from pushing cloves out of the soil. Once planted, garlic needs very little attention until spring. The cold is not a problem. In fact, it is the secret behind big, beautiful bulbs. If you only choose one winter survival crop to plant right now, garlic is the one that repays you the most in both yield and flavor. The second one is kale. Kale might be the toughest winter green you can grow, and November is the perfect time to get it in the ground. Unlike warm season crops that shrink back at the first frost, kale responds to cold by becoming sweeter and softer, almost like nature's version of seasoning. Once established, a single plant can feed you for months because you harvest it from the outside in. Every time you pick the lower leaves, the center produces fresh new growth. Plant seedlings 12 to 18 inches apart so they have plenty of room to form strong rosettes. While curly kale is popular, dinosaur kale, also called lacinato, is incredibly cold hardy and has a smooth, tender texture that many gardeners prefer. Kale tolerates temperatures into the low 20s, and even if a hard freeze knocks it back, a simple row cover brings it right back to life. It's loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, which are especially valuable during winter when fresh produce is limited. With almost no pests in cold weather and minimal maintenance required, kale becomes one of the most reliable and productive crops in the winter garden. Plant it now and enjoy harvest deep into spring. Carrots are the perfect November root crop because cold soil slows their growth just enough to make them sweeter and more flavorful. The chill triggers the plant to convert starches into sugars, resulting in crisp, candy-sweet roots that taste far better than summer carrots. To get the best results, plant seeds a 1/4 inch deep in loose, rock-free soil so the roots have room to grow straight and long. They may take a little longer to germinate in cool conditions, but once they sprout, they are incredibly hardy. As winter approaches, add a thick layer of straw mulch to insulate the soil. This keeps the ground soft enough to dig into even during freezing weather, allowing you to harvest fresh carrots all winter long. Think of the garden like a natural refrigerator. You pull only what you need while the rest stay perfectly preserved underground. Cold hardy varieties like Napoli and Bolero are ideal for late plantings. Carrots are also excellent for small spaces or raised beds. The real beauty of November carrots is their convenience. No storage bins, no curing, no fuss. Just lift the mulch, pull up a few roots, and cover it back again. It is one of the easiest winter harvests you can grow. The fourth one is lettuce. Lettuce might seem delicate, but it actually thrives in cool weather, making November one of the best times to plant it. Heat causes lettuce to bolt and turn bitter, but cold temperatures slow growth and create sweeter, more tender leaves. Baby lettuce greens can be ready in as little as 30 days, even with shorter daylight hours. For a continuous harvest, mix multiple types: romaine for crunch, butterhead for softness, and loose leaf varieties for fast regrowth. Plant seeds about 1 inch apart and thin as needed, but do not waste the thinnings. Use them as microgreens. Loose leaf varieties are perfect for the cut and come again method. Snip leaves 1 inch above the crown, and the plant will regrow repeatedly through winter. Even a simple low tunnel or row cover can keep lettuce producing during frosty nights, especially in zones 5 to 11. Growing your own lettuce saves a surprising amount of money compared to buying $4 to $5 plastic tubs from the store, and the flavor is noticeably fresher. November planted lettuce is low effort, high reward, and adds vibrant greens to your winter meals when fresh vegetables are scarce. With minimal protection, you will have salads straight from the garden all winter long. The fifth one is radishes. Radishes are the absolute speedsters of the winter garden, making them ideal for November planting. While many vegetables slow down in cold weather, radishes barely seem to notice. Most varieties mature in just 20 to 30 days. That means you can plant them every week throughout November for a constant supply of crisp, peppery roots. Kids and beginners love radishes because the results come fast, and even small garden spaces can fit multiple successions. Plant seeds about 1/2 inch apart and thin them to 2 inches for well-sized roots. Cold weather actually improves their texture, keeping them crisp and preventing the woody, overly spicy flavor that develops in summer heat. Varieties like Cherry Belle or French Breakfast perform exceptionally well in late-season plantings. In zones with freezing nights, a simple row cover speeds growth and protects the greens. You can eat both the roots and the leafy tops, which add a spicy kick to salads and sautés. Radishes are inexpensive to grow and surprisingly satisfying to harvest. With almost no pests active in winter, radishes become one of the most dependable and productive crops you can tuck into any empty space right now. Spinach thrives in cool weather and becomes almost buttery sweet after a frost, making November one of the best times to plant it. While warm weather causes spinach to bolt quickly, the cold slows growth and keeps the plants compact and productive. The key to maximizing harvest is the cut and come again method. Pick the outer leaves when they reach 4 to 6 inches, and the plant will continue pushing out fresh growth from the center. This gives you multiple harvests from each plant throughout winter and early spring. Bloomsdale and Space are particularly cold, hardy varieties known for their ability to survive freezing nights. Spinach prefers rich, well-drained soil and benefits from being spaced about 4 inches apart. If your ground hasn't frozen yet, you can even succession plant every 2 weeks for a continuous supply. Spinach's nutritional value is outstanding, providing iron, calcium, and vitamins A and C, nutrients that become even more valuable during winter months when fresh produce is limited. A small bed can produce pounds of harvest over the season, saving you from paying $4 to $6 per pound at the store. Once planted, spinach practically takes care of itself, making it one of the easiest crops to. The seventh one is Swiss chard. It will grow through winter. It is one of the most reliable and long-lasting crops you can plant in November. It not only survives winter, but often carries straight into spring with continuous leafy growth. Rainbow varieties like Bright Lights bring striking colors to the garden, but they are not just pretty. These plants are nutritional powerhouses packed with vitamins and minerals. Chard grows similarly to kale. Harvest the outer leaves while allowing the center to keep producing. Each plant, spaced 8 to 12 inches apart, can provide steady harvest for months. Chard handles frost extremely well, and even if cold temperatures slow it down, it quickly rebounds when warmer days return. The leaves can be used like spinach in sautés and soups, while the colorful stems cook up almost like asparagus, adding texture and sweetness to dishes. In climates with mild winters, chard becomes nearly perennial, offering incredible value from a small planting. With minimal pests present in cold weather and very little maintenance required, Swiss chard stands out as one of the most productive vegetables you can add to your winter survival garden. The eighth one is beets. Beets give you double the harvest for the same amount of space, making them a perfect November crop. When planted now, beets grow slowly through winter, which enhances both the sweetness of the roots and the tenderness of the greens. The leafy tops can be harvested early as nutrient-dense greens, similar to Swiss chard, while the roots continue developing below the soil. To grow large, uniform beets, thin the seedlings to about 3 inches apart because each seed is actually a cluster that produces several sprouts. Cold weather keeps beets from becoming tough or woody, giving them a smooth, sweet flavor that is hard to beat. Varieties like Detroit Dark Red and Bull's Blood are excellent for late plantings. In many zones, beets can stay in the ground through winter when mulched properly, acting like a natural storage system. The greens provide early nutrition and the roots follow later, giving you 2 valuable crops. Beets are also incredibly easy to grow in raised beds, containers, or traditional garden rows. With minimal attention and impressive cold tolerance, beets are one of the smartest additions to your November planting lineup. The ninth one is broccoli. Broccoli planted in November performs incredibly well because cool temperatures produce tighter, sweeter heads than spring plantings ever can. The cold slows the plant down just enough to develop firm, dense crowns packed with flavor. Start with healthy transplants. Seeds simply do not have enough warm days left, and space them 18 to 24 inches apart so the plants can stretch out and build strong stems. What makes broccoli especially valuable in the winter garden is that it does not stop at one harvest. Once you cut the main central head, the plant continues sending out multiple side shoots for weeks or even months afterward, each one a perfectly sized mini crown for stir fries or roasting. Broccoli loves nutrient-rich soil, so adding compost at planting gives it a noticeable boost. With fewer pests active in cold weather, fall and winter broccoli often looks cleaner and healthier than anything grown in spring. It is surprisingly frost-tolerant too. Light freezes actually improve the flavor. With consistent watering and just a bit of protection during extreme cold, November broccoli delivers a steady supply of high-quality, nutritious heads long after most gardens have shut down for the season. Planting onion sets in November is one of the smartest moves you can make because they give you 2 harvests from a single planting. During winter, the young bulbs send up green shoots that can be snipped and used as fresh green onions, perfect for soups, stews, and salads. Then, as the days lengthen in spring, those same sets swell into full-size storage bulbs that you can cure and keep for months. Onion sets are incredibly cold-hardy, much more so than seeds, which struggle in low soil temperatures. Plant them about 1 inch deep and space them 4 inches apart to give each bulb room to size up. They're resilient enough to survive freezes without protection, and unlike many crops, they don't mind slow winter growth. In fact, the chill helps them root deeply and prepare for their spring growth surge. Onions are heavy feeders, so a little compost or organic fertilizer goes a long way. With store-bought onions increasing in price, growing your own from inexpensive sets is a budget-friendly, low-maintenance way to stock your pantry. By planting now, you secure both winter greens and spring bulbs from a single, simple planting. The 11th one is arugula. Arugula is one of the most productive greens you can plant in November, and it's shockingly expensive to buy, making it the perfect crop to grow yourself. This fast-growing leafy green matures in just 30 to 40 days, even with reduced daylight. It thrives in cool weather, which keeps the leaves tender and mild. As temperatures drop, arugula develops more flavor, ranging from slightly peppery when young to pleasantly spicy as it matures. It is perfect for salads, sandwiches, and garnishes, and adds a gourmet touch that restaurants charge a premium for. Plant arugula by broadcasting seeds or sowing in rows about 6 inches apart. It germinates quickly in cool, moist soil and regrows after cutting, giving you multiple harvests from each planting. Because it tolerates frost well, arugula can grow straight through winter in zones 5 to 11 with minimal protection. Another major advantage is that it self-seeds easily, and if you let a few plants flower in spring, you will often have volunteer seedlings popping up year after year with no effort on your part. For an incredibly low-maintenance, high-flavor winter crop, arugula is one of the best choices you can make in November. Mustard greens are one of the quickest leafy greens you can grow in November, making them perfect for gardeners who want fast results. In cool weather, they mature in as little as 30 days, producing vibrant leaves with a bold, peppery flavor. When harvested young, mustard greens are mild and tender, ideal for salads. As they mature, their flavor becomes richer and more complex, perfect for stir-fries, sautés, and traditional Southern-style cooking. Mustard greens handle frost surprisingly well, and light freezing actually improves their texture. Plant the seeds about 1/4 inch deep and thin the seedlings to 6 inches apart for full-sized leaves. The plants grow quickly and, when cut properly, can provide multiple harvests throughout winter. Because pests are minimal during cold months, mustard greens remain clean and healthy with almost no maintenance. Varieties like Red Giant or Southern Giant. Curled develop beautiful textured leaves that stand up well to cooking. If you want a fast-growing winter crop that brings both nutrition and bold flavor to your table, mustard greens are an excellent November planting choice that never disappoints. The 13th one is mache, also known as corn salad. Mache is one of the most cold-hardy salad greens you can grow, and it almost seems made for November planting. This European gourmet green thrives in low light, short days, and cold temperatures, conditions that stop many other greens in their tracks. The plants form small rosettes of tender, spoon-shaped leaves with a mild, slightly nutty flavor prized by chefs. Because mache grows slowly and steadily through winter, it becomes a reliable source of fresh salad greens when everything else has gone dormant. Plant the tiny seeds by lightly broadcasting them or sowing them in narrow rows about 4 inches apart. They germinate best in cool, moist conditions and require little attention after that. Once established, mache can survive freezing temperatures, frost, and even snow without damage. It usually takes 40 to 50 days to reach full size, but you can harvest the whole rosette or pick individual leaves for extended production. Mache is rich in vitamins and omega-3 fatty acids, making it not only a delicious winter green, but also one of the most nutritious. With its exceptional cold tolerance and gourmet flavor, mache brings a unique and valuable addition to any November garden. The 14th one is miner's lettuce, also called Claytonia. Miner's lettuce is an incredibly useful winter green because it thrives in shade and low light, conditions that stop most vegetables from growing well. This makes it perfect for tucking into unused corners of your garden where other crops won't grow. The plant forms tender, succulent leaves shaped like little lily pads with a mild, slightly tangy flavor. It is loaded with vitamin C, iron, and other nutrients, making it one of the healthiest greens you can harvest in winter. Sow the seeds by scattering them lightly over the soil and barely covering them. Claytonia prefers cool, moist conditions and grows low to the ground, forming a dense, edible carpet. In zones 5 through 9, it grows steadily all winter and produces heavily in early spring. One of its best qualities is that it self-seeds easily. Once you grow it, you often have it for years without replanting. The leaves can be harvested individually or by cutting small clusters, and they regrow quickly. For gardeners who want effortless winter nutrition, miner's lettuce is one of the most valuable crops you can plant in November. Collard greens are legendary for their toughness, making them an essential winter survival crop. They can handle cold temperatures better than almost any other leafy green, even down into the teens without significant damage. Planting them in November gives them time to establish roots before the hardest winter weather sets in. Collards grow as a loose rosette of large, smooth leaves that you harvest from the bottom up. Each plant can feed you for months, providing leaf after leaf through winter and well into spring. Space transplants 18 to 24 inches apart so they develop strong, upright plants. The Georgia variety is especially well known for its reliability and excellent flavor. Younger leaves can be eaten raw in salads, while mature leaves develop the deep, savory taste. Collards are famous for after slow cooking. Because pests are minimal in winter, collards tend to stay cleaner and healthier than their spring counterparts. They are also incredibly nutritious, packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. For an easy, productive, long-lasting crop that thrives in cold weather, collard greens are one of the absolute best choices for November planting. The 16th one is turnips. Turnips are a fantastic dual-purpose crop that delivers fast greens and sweet roots from a single planting. In November, the cool temperatures are perfect for producing tender, mild greens just 2 to 3 weeks after sowing. These leafy tops are excellent sautéed, added to soups, or eaten fresh when young. Meanwhile, the roots continue developing underground, reaching full size in about 40 to 50 days. Cold weather keeps the roots from becoming strong or bitter, resulting in a surprisingly mild, sweet flavor that many people prefer to spring-grown turnips. Plant seeds about ½ inch deep and thin seedlings to 3 to 4 inches apart. Thinnings are delicious and can be used as microgreens. Turnips tolerate frost extremely well and can even stay in the ground through winter if mulched, allowing you to harvest them as needed. Varieties like Purple Top White Globe are reliable and easy to grow. Because they mature quickly and produce so abundantly in small spaces, turnips are one of the most underrated winter crops you can plant in November. The 17th one is bok choy. Bok choy is an exceptional cold weather crop and one of the fastest to mature when planted in November. Baby bok choy varieties can be ready in as little as 30 days, giving you incredibly quick harvests. Full-size plants take 45 to 60 days but are worth the wait, offering crisp white stems and tender green leaves perfect for stir-fries, soups, and Asian-style dishes. Bok choy thrives in cool weather and actually struggles in summer heat, which causes it to bolt. That makes November the ideal time to plant it. You can start from transplants or seeds, spacing baby varieties 6 to 8 inches apart and larger types 10 to 12 inches apart. Bok choy grows compactly and beautifully, adding both flavor and texture. Bok choy adds visual interest to the winter garden. Frost doesn't faze it, and with a little protection, it will continue producing even during cold snaps. The flavor is mild and slightly sweet, making it a favorite for both raw and cooked recipes. Store-bought bok choy is often pricey, so growing your own ensures a steady supply of high-quality greens during winter. The 18th one is winter peas, including snow peas and sugar snap peas. Most gardeners think of peas as a spring crop, but November is actually an excellent time to plant them in many climates. Peas love cool weather, and the cold temperatures help concentrate the sugars in the pods, making them noticeably sweeter. Plant the seeds about 2 inches deep at the base of a trellis or fence so the vines can climb. Even when growth slows during the coldest months, the plants continue establishing roots and vines. Then, as soon as daylight increases in late winter, they explode with production. A well-supported pea trellis can yield 20 to 30 pounds of pods over the season, making peas one of the highest-yielding vertical crops. Snow peas and sugar snaps are especially good choices because you can eat the whole pod. Peas also enrich your soil naturally by fixing nitrogen, improving the fertility of whatever crop comes next. With a bit of mulch and occasional protection during harsh freezes, winter peas grow reliably and produce heavily in early spring. For sweet, crunchy pods long before the rest of your garden wakes up, peas are an outstanding November planting choice.